So hello and a very good afternoon, YouTube. I hope each one of you are doing absolutely fine, working hard in your own life and enjoying life to the core. Well, it's a very hot day today over here in Kolkata, guys. So yep, as you all have seen in the thumbnail, that is going to be the topic today, that how we could, keep our motorcycle engines cooler in this hot summer days, so that it runs somewhat cooler and smoother and safer. I had marked a few points which I would like to share with you all, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to help you all in more than one ways. So yep, let me just dive into the topic and bring out the first point, which is how we ride our motorcycle. This is the most important criteria, or the most important point in my list, guys, that how we ride our motorcycle when we are out under the sun in this hot summer day. Now, as we know, guys, not all of us have the same type of riding style. We ride differently, but yes, occasionally we do over rev our motorcycles, and that is a complete no during this season. You should never ever over rev your motorcycle, at least during this particular hot season. Please try and keep your RPM levels as low as possible, or as low as your bike allows you to ride it in. That is going to immensely help the engine to stay cooler and operate better, smoother. So that is one of the most important thing which you should keep in mind, guys. You should try and figure out that what is the comfortable RPM that your bike runs in the lower rev. How low could you ride how low at an RPM could you ride the bike, your bike? It varies from bike to bike, so that's why I'm telling you that you should try and figure out the lowest RPM that your bike could run in, and try and ride the bike in that RPM. Do not exceed that. Like, I had marked around 5000 RPM in this particular motorcycle, the KTM Duke 390, and I ride the bike not above 5000 RPM, at least when I am riding in this daytime under this sun, hot sun. So that is immensely going to help the bike in keeping the temperatures at check. So that's point number one, guys. Now, point number two is, when we stop at traffic signals, do not forget to switch off your engine. You could do so by the help of the engine kill switch if you have one. Most of the bikes do have it. You do not need to turn it off through the ignition. You just need to shut the engine through the kill switch. I generally do that, but let me be honest, even I forget at times and let the engine idle in the traffic signal. But at least during these summer days, I make sure that I don't forget, and I do turn off the engine through the kill switch, even if the red light signal is around for 20 seconds. I still turn off the engine, and that also helps a tad bit for the engine to run cooler. So that was point number two. Now, coming to point number three, what you could do is see if you have set a destination which is around 10 kilometers from your location, take occasional tiny breaks. You do not have to park the bike anywhere. Just find a sweet spot, a shady spot somewhere near you after every 3 or 4 kilometers, and just halt over there, turn off the engine obviously, and stay there for around 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then again start the engine and continue your journey. And while you take the break, you could also give yourself some refreshment, like you could just take out your water bottle and have some water, which is also important for you. And then you could continue the journey. And what this is going to do is, this is going to provide the bike with some time to breathe and get cooler. So, like you see, I again forgot while I was talking to you all, I forgot to turn off the engine. So do not do this, guys, at least not in this summer time. You should always turn off your engine while you're at a signal stop. So coming to the next point, guys, now this is a bit technical. Always check for free wheel rotation. I mean, put your bike at its center stand and then try rotating the rear wheel and the front wheel and see that if it rotates freely. I mean, there should be some amount of drag at the rear wheel since it is connected to the chain sprocket, and also the braking system is also there, so there would be some amount of drag in it, but you should be able to, you know, rotate the wheel with your hand freely. If you're unable to do so, if you feel that the wheel is a bit jammed than what it is supposed to, then you should definitely and immediately take it to a technician and have it checked and have it rectified. Because if the wheels are jammed somewhat, then it is going to put some amount of stress to the engine while you ride it, and which in turn is going to result in a hotter engine. This is quite logical. So please do follow this and check it every, you know, once a week or once in a while whenever you're beside your bike, and you should be good to go. This is not only going to result in a hotter engine, it is also going to result in a poor fuel economy if the wheels are jammed. So yes, guys, coming to the next point, this is modifications that we do to our motorcycle. Like for instance, a lot of us nowadays ride motorcycles that come with liquid cooling technology, and if it is a liquid cooled motorcycle, then you're bound to have a radiator in front of you, right? And a lot of us like to, you know, install aftermarket radiator guards to protect our radiator. Now that's a good thing, I understand it, but at the same time I would request you and suggest that you should remove it at least during these summer days, since, you know, installing a radiator guard is somewhat blocking the air which is coming from in front of you and hitting the radiator. So the radiator is not able to get that much amount of air which it is supposed to get, or which it is designed to receive, since you have installed a radiator guard in front of it, and it is creating a kind of an hindrance in getting the air which it is supposed to. So that is the reason you should, you know, at least for these summer days, you should remove it and keep it safely back at home, so that, you know, once the summers are gone, you could, you know, bring it out and reinstall it in your motorcycle and enjoy it. So that's another thing which you should keep in mind. And similarly, many of us install aftermarket air filters in our motorcycles, performance oriented air filters in our motorcycle, and that is again a very good thing to do. But again, guys, if it is only the air filter which you are installing in your motorcycle as a performance upgrade, you're actually, you know, making the air fuel ratio lean, and a lean air fuel ratio results in a hotter engine. So again, my advice and my suggestion would be, remove the aftermarket air filter and install the stock air filter which came with your bike. If you don't have one, I would request you to kindly buy one from your manufacturer and install it, at least for the time being, for the summer season. And once the summers are gone, you could again switch back to the performance oriented air filter. No issues whatsoever. Now coming to the next point, guys, which is always try and keep your engine and exhaust system as clean as possible. I mean, most of us are concerned about how our bodywork looks, whether it is well polished or not, and all such stuffs. But very few of us are interested in in keeping the engine clean and dirt free. Now you see, that is very important, because the more dirty your engine is, the more hotter it will be, at least when ridden under the sun in these summer days. So try and squeeze out some time from your busy schedule and clean the engine bay, at least the engine section of your motorcycle, and the exhaust system as well, of course, when it is cold, and keep it as clean as possible. I mean, you do not have to polish it and keep it spankingly clean. I'm not talking about that. What only I'm requesting is to keep them as clean as possible. Just with water and some detergent soap, you could clean the engine and the exhaust system and keep it out of dirt. So just do that, and that is definitely going to help in the engine running a lot more cooler and smoother. Now coming to the next point, guys, if you ride a motorcycle that has a liquid cooled technology in it, and of course there is a radiator in front of you. You would find the radiator coolant reservoir somewhere in your bike. You got to figure out where it is in your motorcycle, and you got to keep a check at the coolant level, the marks which are there. I mean, there's a higher and a lower mark over there, so the coolant level should be somewhere in between. So you got to figure out how to do so in your particular motorcycle, and you should, you know, occasionally, at least once or twice a week, you should keep a check at it, at least in this summer season. If it has been a very long time since you last replaced your coolant, so this is a very good time to have your coolant replaced. Take it to your good technician and have it replaced. You do not have to buy a very expensive ones. That is not required. What is required is having fresh coolant in your motorcycle if it is very old. So do that. It is a very inexpensive thing to do. It doesn't take much time as well. So flush out the old coolant and pour in the new one. So that was another point which you should, you know, take into consideration when you ride your motorcycle in these summer days. So that said, guys, I nearly completed most of my points. But yes, as I said, guys, the most important factor is the way we ride our motorcycle. Do not ignore that, guys. Do not, you know, ride your bike to the limits, at least in these summer days. Try to, you know, maintain decent low RPM. I mean, try to ride your motorcycle in the lowest possible RPM which your bike allows you to. That's immensely going to help your engine in running it cooler, smoother and safer. So take your time when you start your journey and enjoy your journey, guys. You don't rush through it in these summer days, guys. It is going to really create a lot of heating issues in your motorcycle. So yes, that's it, guys. I just wanted to, you know, I was desperate to share these points with y'all, since I get to hear a lot of heating issues during these summer days. I'm pretty sure that if you follow these points which I said and ride your motorcycle accordingly, you're definitely going to see a huge difference, because see, these points are tiny points, but if you gather them together, they are going to definitely make a huge difference in the temperature of the motorcycle. I mean, the temperature of the engine in your motorcycle. So that's it, guys. Please take good care of yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. If you like the video, you know what to do, guys. Please hit the like button, share it with your friends. Do comment down below if you want to add any more points. I would definitely appreciate that and take into consideration as well. Have a nice time ahead. Bye bye.